Is carrying multiple single-use devices like this dumb phone or this iPod creating more complication in my life that's not really worth it? Let's explore that today. If you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and ways that you can distance yourself from technology, sometimes by using other technologies, like I have with me today. So let's get into it. So a few days ago, I got a comment from somebody telling me that I was making a mistake by carrying around these dumb devices in place of my smartphone, that I potentially just needed some more willpower to use my smartphone and not let it take advantage of me, and that by carrying multiple single-use devices like this, I was just creating a needless complication in my life and just making more problems than it was worth. So today I thought I'd make a video breaking down a few reasons why I think that may not be true, and then explaining why I think a few single-use devices like this, brought with intention, can actually benefit your life in more ways than one. So the first thing that I appreciate about having multiple single-use type devices instead of one all-in-one like an iPhone or something like that is the fact that I can choose exactly what element I want to bring today. Do I want to bring the phone with me when I go out? Do I want to bring the phone and the iPod with me? Do I want to bring my paper map with me? Or do I want to bring none of them? With a phone, you have to bring everything with you. Now, some would say that I don't have to actually use everything. It's up to me to have the willpower to choose not to use it. But the tough thing about that is that there's so many different stakeholders who it's their jobs to keep you distracted, keep you looking at your phone. Every time you use your phone, data is being harvested from you and companies are making money, learning how to market better to you. So they want you to use your phone at all times. The smartphone doesn't want to just be used for the one thing you want to use it for. It wants you to use it for everything, which is why it's a convenient device like this. So simply having willpower isn't really an option because there's companies that are betting on your willpower failing. You don't have to worry about somehow one of these apps bursting through the fact that you turned all your notifications off and alerting you to something anyway, which has happened to me. You don't have to worry about some random spam caller breaking through your do not disturb and disturbing you. You don't have to fight that compulsion to pick up your phone and check your email just in case that one work thing came through. Being able to choose whether I want my iPod or if I want my phone or if I want my camera, allows me to have a real pick my own adventure experience with my own life rather than letting some big company pick it for me. So circling back to those stakeholders who are invested in you picking up your phone as much as possible, we have number two, which is convenience comes at a cost. The reality is that our modern smart devices track almost everything we do. And no, it's not just to serve you better as the customer, because oftentimes you're not the customer, you're the product. The true customer are the big businesses that want to learn how to market to you better, and they're taking all of the analytics that they can get from these phones and these app manufacturers, and they're using them to sell products back to you as much as they can. Now I have another level of issue with this because I feel like it forces people back into wage slavery. We pay a tremendous amount of money for this all-in-one device, which is then taking all of our data, learning our habits, and then using that to hack our brains and sell products that we might not even need back to us, forcing us to go back to jobs which we may not even want to go to. So oftentimes the less convenient option is the more secure option. In this age of surveillance capitalism, companies want you using your phone to be the easiest, most streamlined experience ever. So you use it as much as possible and so they can learn the most about you. I'm just not into that, so that's why I choose my dumb devices. So moving on to number three, when you choose a single-use device, you take the question of willpower out of the equation. You only have your dumb device, and that's the only option. The fact of the matter is, when I'm walking around with my PUNKT Dumbphone or my iPod, I don't have a desire to check my email because I just can't. And even if I do want to check my email, I can't, so I just deal with it. And that is significant because I think oftentimes we try to just say, just this once. I'll just pick it up really quick. I know I said I wasn't going to use my phone right now, but I just want to really quickly check something. And then you're down the rabbit hole once again. But if you just take those options away from you by taking single-use, dumb devices with you, then you just have no choice. That option is no longer even on the table. So the number four reason why I don't mind carrying multiple single-use devices around with me is the fact that it kind of decentralizes my approach to tech. I'm not beholden to one single company. You know, the point-and-shoot camera market is pretty much dead. People are using their phones for all of their camera solutions. Some people don't even own computers and are just using their phone for that. While this is nice because you maybe don't have to carry as much stuff around with you, it puts all the money in the hands of one single company. And I don't think that's the best way to go. With my setup, I'm able to have a little bit of Apple, a little bit of PUNKT, a little bit of Sony, a little bit of Garmin, a little bit of Map, and I don't have to go all in on Apple or Google or Samsung or anything. We're getting to the point where like 5 companies are controlling everything, and basically all of the country's money is being made by these companies. When you look at something like the NASDAQ, the majority of the money is coming from these 5 companies. We're getting to a point where very few extremely powerful companies are starting to own everything. Look at Disney buying up Marvel. Disney bought National Geographic. Everybody's under one banner nowadays. Having a choice between devices is becoming largely an illusion. Being able to support smaller companies like PUNKT or Light with the Light phone, it allows you to, take a little bit of a stand against the way things are going and actually vote with your dollar. And you're not stuck with this all-in-one convenient option under the Apple umbrella or the Google umbrella or the Samsung umbrella. You get the picture. And with that, moving on to the number 5 reason why I don't really mind carrying so many single-use devices around with me is the fact that it's an act of protest against the way things are going. If you think it's too much effort to carry both a phone and an iPod with you, that's too much of a reach, maybe you think carrying a wallet's too big of a deal as well. Maybe you'd prefer to carry no phone at all and you'd want to wear an Apple Vision Pro on your face, walking around in a digital world completely immersed. If you think that carrying an iPod and a phone is just too much and you couldn't even imagine doing it, think back to 15 years ago. Lots of people were doing it then. And if you're fine with owning nothing and being happy about it, then you can just strap the Apple Vision Pro on your face and go about your life. Because with that, you won't need a TV or a computer or a phone or just to have a regular experience of reality. You slap a Neuralink chip up in your dome, maybe a credit card chip in your hands so you don't need to carry your wallet anymore. Now, ultimately, I'm going a little far with my joke here, guys, but you get the picture. How far do you really want to go down this? It's too much to carry 1 or 2 things around with you. If it's too much to carry 1 or 2 things around with you, then just don't carry them. Just don't listen to music when you walk around. Listen to the birds chirping. Talk to somebody who's outside. That's a good way to go as well. One of my commenters put that it was sometimes helpful to put some type of meaningful friction in your life. It's a good check and balance, an obstacle between you and something that maybe is ultimately not that good for you. Something like this all-in-one distraction device that we maybe don't need to carry with us at all times. So that's about it for today, guys. Just a few reasons why I'm still okay with carrying multiple single-use devices around with me. I don't think it's all too bad. So how do you feel about this? Is this something that you're already doing? Do you have multiple single-use devices that you're carrying around in lieu of something like an iPhone? Or are you willing to adopt the tech that comes about and actually even go maybe without a phone eventually for some sort of goggle solution or maybe a chip implant? If you like the way that things are going and you prefer the minimalism that comes from needing to own less with these convenience devices, let me know in the comment section as well. I'd love to hear your point of view. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.